Welcome to Cyber Chat with Top Cyber Pro at topcyberpro.com. Today we have top cyber professional Jim West and myself, Terry Thompson. And today we have a very hot and trending topic that we're going to be talking about, and that's NFTs. So what exactly is an NFT? An NFT is a non-fungible token, and it's a unit of data stored on a blockchain or a digital ledger, which can represent a unique digital item, basically like art. An NFT is a cryptographic token, but unlike cryptocurrency such as Bitcoin and many network or utility tokens, NFTs are not mutually interchangeable, i.e. not fungible. An NFT is created by uploading a file, such as an artwork, to an NFT auction market such as Known Origin, Rarible, or OpenSea. This creates a hash of the file recorded on the digital ledger as an NFT, which can be bought with cryptocurrency and resold. Very little data is stored directly inside an NFT. NFTs include links pointing to where the art and any details about it are stored, but the links can die. Ownership of an NFT does not inherently grant copyright to any art represented by the NFT. Although an artist can sell an NFT representing a work, the artist can still retain the copyright to the work and create more NFTs of the same work. The buyer of the NFT does not gain exclusive access to the work, nor does the buyer gain possession of the original digital file. A person who uploads a certain work as an NFT does not have to prove that they are the original artist. And there have been numerous cases where art was used for NFTs without the creator's permission. So that's the long answer. That's really a more detailed dictionary type of an answer. However, simply put, they can be used similarly as autographed items with a unique identity and ownership verifiable by blockchain. So what exactly are some uses of NFTs? Well, particular uses are in digital art, collectibles, games, music, sports, and even pornography. One of the most recent notable NFT purchases have been Beeple's work of Every Days, the first 5,000 days. And guess what? It sold for an astounding $69.3 million. Wow, that is absolutely crazy. So today, top cyber professional Jim West will talk to you about NFTs from a cybersecurity standpoint. Jim, let's dive in. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, Terry. Actually, you explained everything so eloquently. I don't think I have anything to add to it. So you kind of already mentioned the blockchain is the fundamental basis of what creates an NFT. With that unique ledger, there's only one. It's truly unique, and as a unique digital file, if you will, they're able to do a lot of different things, which such as put a value on it. Obviously, buyer beware, as the old saying goes, because it cannot be the original work. It may be a copy of a copy. So you have to take some due diligence, due care with anything new. With any new technology, there's going to be this race between our legal system and the laws being taking so long to catch up with the technology. This is another case of that, where we have issues such as copyright, intellectual property rights. So there's a lot of laws that still protect the original creator of a work. What you'll see in the news stories, I believe there was a person that got contacted. I think we have a news article about a person that was being messaged on social media, like, did they put out these NFTs? Were they selling NFTs? And they had never heard of an NFT because people were taking their works and images and things that they had created and started creating NFTs for sale. So again, having control of and regulating, if you will. I don't know, a lot of people in technology hate the word regulation because that means our powers that be have to get involved. But there are still laws that are in place to protect content creators, protect original copyright owners, and authors and creators. But unfortunately, because the technology is rapidly expanded in the space, we're seeing a lot of, just to coin another term, counterfeiting, if you will, or delusion of property or trademark. Unfortunately, that's going to happen. But at the end of the day, buyer beware. So you mentioned another part in your description, opening intro regarding broken links. This has also happened to a lot of folks where they've spent some money on an NFT, and when they went to go view it later within their dashboard or wallet, if you will, because you purchased this with cryptocurrency, the links were no longer valid. They were getting 404 errors, and of course, they thought they'd been scammed. Essentially, again, there are some things in time that even though the technology advances and changes how we do things, the fundamental concepts and values of buyer beware, or just good prudence, it always comes into play. I mean, would you pay millions of dollars for a video of, let's say, a NBA star doing a slam dunk, when that is already on YouTube and on several other video streaming platforms and several websites already? You, as a person, as a buyer, you should make your own decision of what is that worth to you. I think that's where NFTs have kind of, because it's not regulated and it is truly a market to where anyone can put a price on anything. Let's say you wanted to buy a picture of a Pop-Tart that someone took. Again, it may be worth nothing to most of us in the world, but to someone out there, it may be worth $1 million. Again, it's truly up to the buyer to determine if that's worth what they want to buy. And that's such as anything in life. The concerns, I guess, obviously from a legal aspect are very real. And I would assume that we would start to see a lot of legislation and a lot of discussions being had regarding NFTs. And so it's now permeated pop culture, where we have pop stars, musicians, as well as sports athletes now utilizing NFTs. Most of the time, these celebrities are utilizing it for a way to fund a charitable cause, which is a great thing. I'm all for supporting nonprofits and charities. And also it's great marketing, right? Since it's trending for a celebrity to say, "Oh, I'm doing this auction of NFTs, to raise money for awareness for this cause or this other charitable endeavor." It's great marketing, it's great PR, and it's also capitalizing on the trend. So there's multiple things you're going to start seeing. You're going to see more and more celebrities probably get behind this NFT movement. With the same time, because of the discussion in our popular culture of NFTs, SNL recently put out a video explaining NFTs, which they actually did a decent job of it, as humorous as it was. But because it's reached that level of mainstream media, obviously the powers that be have to address this, have to start having serious discussions, or at least a refresher course for people out there buying and selling NFTs on intellectual property law, copyright law, because that law still applies. But granted, a digital token can be bought or sold because it is truly unique to that instance of that item. And but at the end of the day, it's what value do you place in something? Again, you can have knowing the source or verifying the authenticity of something is still up to the buyer.
Yeah, I like how you position that, because at the end of the day, value is in the eye of the beholder. It's like the old saying goes, value is in the eye of the beholder. And I like how you said that, because, what could be one person's value or one person's trash could be another person's value. And it's interesting. So I think that, once again, it's a trending topic. It's something that is new. A lot of people are completely unaware of like what it is, how it works. And then it could leave open for the possibility of being scammed or what have you. And whether that's happened or not, I mean, I'm sure that there's plenty of examples out there of things that are legitimate things, where people have actually been scammed and people are selling this, that, and the other. And I like how you said buyer beware, because here's the thing. There's going to be a lot of people out there trying to be copycats and trying to do different things and trying to sell whatever that they possibly can just to basically gain a dollar. And I 100% get the concept of capitalization, or capitalism. I 100% believe in that. However, I also believe that there's opportunity for things like either maybe even viruses, because images can have viruses. You can attach different things, and you can attach different code and different stuff to that. So what are your thoughts on that? So like you say, buyer beware, how could that potentially affect someone?
So, somewhat related to what you're saying, there are people that have offered NFTs of 0-day exploits as well as other malicious code. So that's already been done already in the NFT world. As far as the actual NFT itself causing harm to your machine, there's most cases, generally speaking, there would be an additional step you'd have to take for that NFT to execute or exploit your system. So, generally speaking, just purchasing an NFT wouldn't infect or cause executable damage to your system. Again, generally speaking, not to say that there can't be a potential for it, but there would need to be a second action that you would have to take to either import the code or execute it or take an action to cause that harm. Again, that's generally speaking.
Yeah, great information, Jim. So, here's the deal. NFTs are really nothing new. They've been around for a while. So let's talk about the history of NFTs. Go ahead and tell me a little bit about the history of NFTs, where they come from and so forth.
So the fundamental concept of an NFT kind of goes back to video games. There was with games like Minecraft, Call of Duty, trying to think of some of the Fortnite. You had these a lot of customization, whether it was different skins for your character, different accessories within the game. These are essentially digital items that could be purchased within the game so that you can customize your character. Now, granted, they weren't leveraging technology like blockchain to make it unique, but the fundamental idea of purchasing digital items, whether you want to correlate that to digital art, for example. Let's say your Fortnite character, you wanted to wear a unicorn costume, and you wanted to have like a velvet covering on your weapons and your items and so forth. So that level of customization was part of the fundamentals that drove what NFTs eventually come from, and why people do place value into digital works of art. Because again, growing up playing the video games where you're paying, anywhere from $1 to, $10, $20 for accessories and things that don't exist in the real world, but exist in this game,
Right.
has been around for a long time. So the video game industry, I think, has a lot to credit for the evolution of NFTs and why a majority of people that grew up on those video games and making it part of a normal process to play the game or to have your unique game experience through accessorizing and customizing your characters has kind of ingrained itself into the psychology and the overall culture, if you will, of people that are placing the value on NFTs. Because again, kind of like conditioning, we have a generation of people that have been brought up that paying. The other day I was talking to a parent, and that I think they were talking about how they spent over $800 one month on mobile gaming credits on all their different kids' mobile phone games. So we have a culture, several generations being brought up that this is a normal part of entertainment, if you will. And so now I believe, laid the groundwork for NFTs to be as successful as they are.
I can relate to that 100%. So I got two kids that love playing Fortnite and Roblox, and I can't even begin to tell you how much money we've spent on, well, I'm going to reframe this. Instead of like digital items, digital assets. So the thing is that when you think of things that are in a digital world, these are digital assets or digital resources, digital items, whatever label that you want to put on it that kind of works for you. I think that NFTs, once again, it's an asset. And purchasing a digital asset for whatever cryptocurrency that is going to be available or whatever is going to be tied to it. I know that I think there's like 3 or 4, or maybe there's many that's out there right now that's going to be tied into it currently. But looking forward into the future, it's going to expand the opportunities and the possibilities for NFTs to gain in interest, gain in popularity, and once again become an asset that you can own, that you can sell, because it's exclusive. It's a one of a kind. It's something that's tied back to something that can basically be proven. Because look, we live in a digital world to where people are talking about, oh, you copied this or you stole that or whatever. It's huge. It's copyright stuff. All right. And tying this digital I would say maybe resource to it, it really closes the gap, I believe, to copywriting. So let's think about it. As we progress forward, as we move forward, I think there's going to be many more uses for this technology. When it comes to like digital art, music, so on and so forth. What are your thoughts on that moving forward?
So, as far as the original content creator, author of a property, I believe that it gives them a great amount of advantage to be the first to embrace this technology. The first, we're going to hear more about artists releasing albums on NFT. I think a couple years ago, the Wu-Tang had put out, I think, one copy of one album, and it sold for a lot of money. But that might be whether it's utilized as a marketing stunt. I believe we're going to see more marketing stunts from celebrities regarding NFTs, publicity stunts, and I think that's just par for course. But as far as the average person out there, what the bottom line up front is that, again, if you're going to buy a image, you have to really consider how unique is that image to you. So if you are buying it from someone, let's say their name is XYZ123 at yahoo.com, they may not be the original creator or true owner of the original item. So I think the value of a NFT would exponentially increase by if you're dealing directly with the creator. For example, if I was dealing with, let's say, Terry Thompson, let's say you took one of your books that you published and you created a digital version of that. And let's say you was also offering the complete ownership of your intellectual property in that NFT. I would think that would then raise the value of that NFT, because I would, one, know that I'm dealing directly, if I could authenticate or validate that I am dealing with Terry Thompson, that he has sole exclusive rights to his own property, and now he's offering it as an NFT for me to now own that. I think that would be a very interesting buy, or at least it would give me the assurance that I'm actually getting something of real value. So at the end of the day, I think a system to authenticate the source, to authenticate the true owner, if that could be applied, or at least from a buyer's perspective can be vetted during the buying process, I think that would give credibility to increasing the value of an NFT. Otherwise, it's buyer beware. It's an open market. You can go on these platforms like you mentioned earlier, like OpenSea. I think is one of the top ones, where people can go on there and buy and sell. And it's kind of like eBay. You go on eBay, you think you're buying a iPhone or the latest gadget, and then you get a box with a brick in it. It's again, it's happened. It's a tale as old as time, with anything. So today we're talking NFTs. There's no telling what the future will bring us with more advancements in technology. But I think basic psychology, basic vetting, proven source. You mentioned earlier sports memorabilia and autograph cards, for example. Again, there's a whole industry built around the authenticity of signatures, built around verifying and then tracking those things. And so I believe in NFTs in regards to the value being tied to authenticity. Then that's going to have a system be generated to validate source. And I don't think that is in place currently because of the open nature of NFTs right now. But I believe that moving forward, that the marketplace that's going to be more successful is going to be the one that implements this structure for validation of source and content owner. If there's some kind of, again, I'm not on these platforms, but if I was as an author myself, let's say I registered myself as an author and these are my intellectual properties, if there's a way to designate that I am the original content creator and I can validate that through some system that they would employ, I think that would tremendously raise value, as well as help that platform and help buyers, feel more comfortable with purchasing NFTs.
That's a great point, because here's the thing, you got published works, which, a lot of authors put that through the Library of Congress. I think that blockchain, I think that NFTs, I think that this technology really solves a lot of issues moving forward, because look, I'm going to tell you right now, there's people out there, especially, with published works, primarily music, for example, you got copyright issues. This is this is going to be huge moving forward because musicians, artists, authors, they literally can do this right here and have a source of proof, so to speak, that, hey, this is an original work, and it's tied to blockchain. It's tied, it's tied to the technology of proof. So I think that there's more moving forward. I think there's lots of opportunity. I really strongly believe that we're just scratching the surface here as we start this journey of NFTs, cryptocurrency. It's exciting stuff. It really is. So Jim, thanks for sharing your thoughts. Thanks for sharing your ideas with us today. If you had a parting, I guess, piece of advice for everybody listening, what would that be?
I think I've said it multiple times. Usually when you say something more than once, you're really foot stomping, but buyer beware. That has never changed. It never will change till to the end of days. Everybody works hard for their money, and when you're about to acquire something, shop around, do your research, understand fully what you're purchasing. And again, before you click that final, execute the purchase option, cryptocurrency is definitely growing. It's not going away ever, and so it's rooted in good technology. I mean, obviously, blockchain is changed the way a lot of businesses operate. It's shaking up and rattling a lot of industries. So again, it's rooted in sound technology. It is a unique token or file that you're receiving. At the end of the day, just make sure that you are doing your own due diligence and due care to evaluate what you're purchasing. And that's about the best advice I can give.
That's awesome. Jim, thanks for sharing your valuable knowledge, your valuable experience, and your advice to everybody watching out there. So once again, thanks for watching the Cyber Chats with Top Cyber Pro at topcyberpro.com. If you want more knowledge, more experience, make sure that you head on over to topcyberpro.com. Get yourself a membership. Get in there. We have lots of knowledge, lots of experience. We have more stuff for anybody that's curious or interested in cybersecurity, education, training. Moving forward, I'll see you there.